First, I want to say thank you to OBE for inviting me out here. This is a tremendous event. I had the privilege of speaking here 3 years ago. Then I was representing J. Walter Thompson from the creative agency side. Today I represent National Geographic Partners. I also represent our ability to work with brands and tell their story through our borders, our yellow borders. And we'll just talk about that today, kind of some of the things that we are doing. This is probably, excuse me. This is probably what a lot of you know for National Geographic. This is what I knew before I joined. If you look at this long enough, you might smell my grandfather's cigar pipe smoke. But this is the old National Geographic. Now we are a multi-platform, immersive storytelling portfolio that is, it's everything from magazines, digital, social media, the television channel itself. We have, we're the most widely distributed channel in the world, 487 million households. We have 412 million fans on social media. So we have a lot to work with, and that gives us a lot to work with our brand partners. Not only our brand partners, but also our brand itself as well. Consistent through our process, though, is we believe great stories have the power to transform the way we understand the world and our role in it. And I want to play this video here that kind of gives you a better understanding of how we approach brand storytelling.
A good story can change the world. Not always a story about something good, but a good story. Told the right way and for the right reasons, its impact can be profound, empowering the people it touches and creating an opportunity for change. We've been telling these kinds of stories for a long time. "130 years ago, National Geographic was founded with the simple notion that understanding our world can help to change it for the better. There's a lot of world left to understand today, but there was even more of it back then. So we gathered up the most advanced tools of the time and gave them to a group of explorers to search the world for that understanding. These explorers were carefully chosen for their bravery and their passionate curiosity. And in their adventures in the years to come, there were many firsts.
The fascinating thing is that so many of the gestures used by the chimps are the same as ours.
Their stories were brought back and shared, and a community was formed around them, connected through their own curiosity and hungry for more.
This sucker exists!
Before there was an internet or Instagram, National Geographic brought them the world and everything in it every month. And in meeting these new people and places, and being moved by their stories, that community started to care. Because when you understand something on that emotional level, you feel compelled to do more than just read or watch. And when a whole community shares that same sense of purpose, amazing things happen. Today we are connected to an unrivaled network of fans and explorers, across more means of communication than our founders could have imagined. We are still invested in bold people and the power of change, and we're putting our money where our mouth is, protecting, educating, inspiring and empowering a global community to make a difference.
Today I'm on assignment for National Geographic.
Nearly a third of our profits go back into the field, giving grants to new generations of explorers, who in turn tell the stories that make us care and make the discoveries that advance humankind. This is our purpose. There are problems we need to solve, but the story we're all working together to tell is a good one. One that's about shared purpose and the wonder of possibility. Our compassionate curiosity has taken us all this far, and we believe it is the very thing that will drive us further.
So that just gets me psyched to see I have this great privilege to represent National Geographic. And I think, as you can see, we're more than a magazine, and we lead with purpose. And that's something that, brands will come to us, say, how do we do it? What is our approach to storytelling? What's our approach to building our brand, and how can we help it build their brand? And these are some of the things that we profess. And one is to lead with purpose. I think if we look at purpose, it's about having brand character, right? So purpose is what you do. And I think for brands that are approaching branded entertainment, branded content, it's all about character and story. Find your brand character, find your purpose, and I think that's where you can find your story, and that's how you can really do great things. For our purpose is quite large. Our CEO Gary Nell has said we are in the business of saving the planet. That's a daunting task, but that's something we all believe in. That's something all our content is filtered through. And as we look at the different sort of things we do with our partners, it's always at the back of our mind, how are we going to do better with this content? How are we going to serve the audience and more importantly, serve the planet? Serving the planet, being a force for good is something that our consumers, our audience, our fans expect. This slide in particular, what stands out for me is the 73% of millennials will pay more for products from socially responsible companies. So I think if you have a story to tell and you have a purpose, they'll not only want to engage with your content, they'll want to engage with your product. Ultimately, it's about that ROI we always get challenged with from our clients. And I think that a force for good can be a force for growth. And that's something that I would exhort as you're talking to your clients, your partners, that branded content, brand entertainment with purpose can really build business. So one of the principles we have is we tell people to be the change. We got to lead the global conversation about what matters. And that's really leaning into things. And sometimes it's not always popular. It's maybe not even going to be something brands can be comfortable with. But for us, the tip of the spear is the magazine, of course. We cover issues that are important. Most recently, we had an issue, the race issue, which drew a lot of commentary, a lot of comments from our fans, our just the community, especially in the United States, where race is an issue right now. And this was something that we knew would have some blowback. In fact, we had to kind of, to be authentic and tell an authentic story, we had to examine National Geographic's history as well. And you know what? There were some parts of our history that weren't probably as good as we wanted it to be now. So we had to kind of confront that and talk about it. But what happened when you take risk and tell stories that maybe aren't the most popular, but something that needs to be told, great things can happen. And this is something that happened for us. I would probably say an Oprah Winfrey tweet is probably greater than a Cannes Lion Grand Prix, but that's for debate. But I think when Oprah is out there saying, good job, we know we've done our job well, and that's something that our brands and consumers need to see. And here's this case study was something we did with Microsoft. This is about their purpose. And what I like about this case study is the way we were able to integrate storytelling, but with the retail, kind of the consumer experience, to really bring our brand, their brand together, and really bring a lot of value to ultimately the fans or consumers that are out there.
I want to make sure that girls, in particular, young women, know that STEM, science, and engineering, all of these things are for them.
I'm here today because I've got two really creative little engineer girls at home, and I know that they're always running into challenges about pursuing what they want to pursue.
I found out that there was a career that you could study space.
Who wants to be a scientist? That's great.
Just imagine, I built some part of that, and you're seeing it up against the sun.
So this is me in my office now. This is where I get to go to work. So my job is to go places where nobody else is going and to bring those visuals back to the scientists and back to the world.
STEM gives you the permission to ask questions about the world and to change the way it works, to do something better or different or new.
Hi, my name is Jenny Adler, and I'm a conservation photographer, and I'm out here today at the Ichetucknee River in Ichetucknee Springs State Park.
Does anybody have a question? Yes, you all have questions because y'all are so cool and smart.
I love the energy, and I love the excitement, and the curiosity, and all of the fun.
And what are we talking about? Science. It's fabulous.
I feel like we have to allow girls to imagine themselves in these roles. They can make a difference. They can change the world.
Thank you. Yeah, high five.
So I think as you can see with that, that was as much about our brand as it was the Microsoft brand. I think that's when great content can come together, when you can build those brands together with shared values, that's when great stories can happen. A principle that we will push is to be thumb stopping. And we have a distinct advantage. We have some of the best photographers in the world. And of course, with social media today and the way that we are scrolling through our smartphones, thumb stopping is critical. Facebook told us that I think we scroll through 305 feet of content a day as we're thumbing through our device. But it's mobile first storytelling. For us, you know, thumb stopping is just really just taking a step back and looking at the world and trying to surprise and delight, which every brand should be doing. So these are all very iconic images. That thumb stopping approach, though, has led to how we kind of program our social media. So on Instagram, we are, I think right now, number 14. We're coming after Kendall Jenner. If we can partner with Selena Gomez, we probably could take over the world. But the point is, our social media feeds is all about authentic storytelling. We're not, so when we're a brand and we're looking at how do we succeed, it's that thumb stopping authenticity. And that lets us sort of play in the same space as, you know, entertainers and athletes and folks that, you know, that are probably, they have a following, but we have that same kind of magnitude as well. Nike, right, a few spots below us as well. Another principle we have is I like to tell the brands that come to us, like, we got to find your lane, kind of work in the space that you know you can own, that you can really be great at. We get briefs a lot from different brand partners looking to do things that aren't in our lane. They're in their lane. We don't do sports and music and food and fashion probably the same as other brands would do, but we do them if they're through our lanes, which are science and innovation, travel, wildlife, culture and exploration. And so that's where we're able to lean into what our audience expects from us, what they want from us, and bring our storytelling to that. We can really do some great things. And one of the recent partnerships we had was with Nike. Most recently called Breaking 2. I'll play this. This was actually filmed, part of it was out the Monza track, so.
When you look across sport, the one obvious barrier is the 2-hour marathon.
It's this journey of taking 3 guys, all of whom are really talented, and telling them, do something that's impossible. We're taking the latest advances in training, latest advances in technology, and algorithms, and mathematics, that we're going to tell these guys, you're going to go for it from the gun. And that is a recipe for greatness.
It's about human endeavor. Why would you try to climb Everest? Why would you try to go to the moon? It's about learning what our capabilities are.
These guys are going to pull out something extraordinary.
I have chills. I feel very lucky and very fortunate to be here to witness this today.
The runners are actually coming up behind me right now.
It has to do with changing the way people think, the way we work.
What can we do to get creative? How do we get to that next level?
This race really isn't about the 3 guys that are going to run it. It's about all of us. What is the human body capable of?
Where can we push a limit here, push a limit there? Exploring human potential and pushing the limits of what that can mean.
So as great as that was, he came 25 seconds short of breaking the marathon, which was awesome. But this is a project where Nike could have gone to ESPN or Fox Sports or any broadcast that has a more pronounced sports audience. But they knew and we knew this was a Nat Geo story. This was about human innovation and ambition and just the human potential as the video spoke to. So that's something that a brand that saw what we do and what we could bring to them, and we saw what they could do, and that resulted in a tremendous story. One of the other, another principle we subscribe to is we really empower our creators. I know there's going to be conversation later today about influencers and how to work with them. For us, we have our influencers. Our influencers are our photographers, our explorers, different creators that we on the broadcast side work with. But we really empower them to tell their story. We don't hold them back. In fact, we get brands coming to us wanting certain things from these talents, and we have to say no often because what they want the person to do is not something they will do. So it's all about that authenticity and enabling them to really use their talents and passions to really help the brand reach their audience in a way that's very authentic. The folks to the right, I mean, it's, the photographers and explorers, these are all just folks that are out there doing it every day too. So it's not a pay-to-play model. They're out there in the field, and we have to kind of pull them back, say, hey, can we do something with this brand and interrupt your expedition or what you're on assignment for? And then on the left there, of course, the A-listers, we have that access to. They love Nat Geo, I think, for our authenticity as well. One of the driving forces of this authenticity, however, and mentioned in the earlier video, is just our commitment to reinvesting what we do into them. And so National Geographic Partners, we are part of the Fox Networks Group, part of 21st Century Fox. 27% of our proceeds go back into the National Geographic Society, which funds the expeditions, funds the photographers, gives them that opportunity. And that is something critical. I think if you're a brand manager today looking to build your entertainment strategy, you have to invest. Find a little bit of something you can do and let it be somewhat discretionary. Let it be sort of a test and learn, but let people find their voice with you. And that's what we've done over the 130 years, is let people find their voice and share that with the world. This is an example of our Instagram feed. This is our, a montage of it, but our main hero account on Instagram has almost, just over 87 million followers, as we saw. The photographers are the ones who program it. We do not have a community manager. We do not have a lead person on our side who sort of gatekeeps, posts, manages the comments. This is photographer owned and led. We have given them the keys to essentially our Instagram feed. And that's why it's so popular, is that it is in their voice. And again, I think it's important to find your influencers, your talent, nurture them, give them opportunities, and don't hold them back. And let them sort of take the risk with them. That has resulted in this type of engagement that we like to celebrate. But our engagement is off the charts. And compared to other great media brands, CNN and New York Times and BuzzFeed, all doing great work, great content, our content, I think, just works harder. And that's something we owe to our photographers and our talent that are doing that work. Finally, creating community. That's something that we need to emphasize. What we do at National Geographic, people want to be a part of. They want to participate. I've had a number of meetings recently where you get in the meeting, and we probably know the meeting setup, where you have the agency and the client and people, and then people show up in the meeting who are like from finance, and they have nothing to do with content, but they just want to know National Geographic. They just want to hear our story, and it's a nice sort of compliment when you have folks that really are not connected to the brief, wanting just to sort of understand what we're doing, and they just want to know us. They're just fans. And that fan building is something that we emphasize. We do that through 3 different platforms that I think we're really proud of. One is called Open Explorer. This just launched. This is an opportunity for emerging explorers to find their expeditions, submit for missions, if you will, submit for funding to do things. Your Shot is a photography community. They go on assignment. They have, there's 1 million+ photographers out there that are out there, sharing their work with each other, and really getting curated and sort of they have that access to our photographers through that as well. And then Chasing Genius it's an ideas incubator that lets people present their ideas to us, and we help sort of bring those ideas to life. Chasing Genius for the past couple of years, GSK and Sprint have been partners in it, and they have been ideas that really help their business as well, their purpose. And here's an example of that.
We believe transformational ideas can come from anywhere, from anyone. That's why we created Chasing Genius, Ready for launch. A purpose-driven platform rooted in consumer insight, giving small ideas big voices, powered by the #1 brand on social media.
Whoa, this is actually happening.
We created a community, inspiring thousands of ideas, millions of conversations. But the real power behind chasing genius means kickstarting projects that will help people see, empower farmers in developing worlds, and produce eco-friendly clothing. And we're just getting started.
There's so much more to do.
Imagine what's possible.
We didn't intend to have a big idea, it just happened.
Join us and unleash your genius.
So this is a program we're proud of, and just the idea that we can open ourselves up to our fans is something that we try to think about every day with our partners. And again, if you're out there building your branded entertainment strategy, look at the ways you can create participation. Look at the ways that you can engage your audience, engage your fans, get those ideas from them, and really kind of work with them to build. And that, I think, also from just a cost effectiveness perspective, that's where you can also, I think, develop a lot of opportunity. And then finally, and I'm almost done here, the last point is we like to say inspire the explorer in everyone. Really get out there and do it. We mentioned earlier talking about purpose being about brand character for brand storytelling. Our purpose, for our characters need to explore. They need to go out there and do and go further. And I think this video here is just something that gets me excited. I'm going to end with this. And when you have Morgan Freeman, you got to show his video. So enjoy.
There are those who believe you need something special to be an explorer. Some rare quality that the rest of us do not share. But after 129 years of exploration, we have found that all you really need to be an explorer is curiosity. And we are all curious. We are all searching for what surprises us, inspires us, and pushes us further. This is not a journey for just a special few. It's for every one of us. We are all explorers.
Here are the nominees for lead actor in a limited series.
So to close, content, scale, and purpose, that's Nat Geo. I encourage all of you to find your content, use your scale, and really, really lean into your purpose, and that's how I think you'll build your content strategy going forward. Thank you.